Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here with John Fitch. John Fitch, how are you?
I'm good. Doing
Good,
good.
good to hear. You ready to Fitch smash somebody? What's the deal? Is it we? I'm starting off before I even say the name of the show. What's the deal there, Fitch smash?
I'm not at liberty to say anything yet, but hopefully there'll be news soon.
News soon. So hopefully we'll get maybe an announcement at the Bellator event on Friday with the bigger thing.
Possibly.
Okay, all right.
So hopefully we'll be able to talk about something next Monday.
That sounds good, guys. It's mixed martial mindset. Really,
It
we're
is.
probably just gonna start bullshitting because that's what we do here. Yeah, a lot of tech issues. We didn't get started right on time. I guess that's okay. You said you're having some tech issues too.
I did last night, man. I couldn't get the show off the ground.
Isn't
It's
that shit
just
so
I don't
frustrating?
know what it was. It's so frustrating. I don't know if the internet was slow or it was like my Mac was just in slow motion. I couldn't open up a Word document without it taking like 2 minutes.
Weird.
Something was off. Something was off.
Not great.
I don't
So, guys, you can find everything John Fitch before
know.
we get started at johnfitch.net, including the weight cut
Hmm.
Bible. The man just cut a
Yep.
lot of weight at 41 or 42 years young.
Well, I mean, I didn't cut weight. I lost. I trimmed down from I was 218, my quarantine weight to my training camp weight, low 190s. So I lost about what was it, 30 pounds or something, or it was close, 28 pounds. I can't remember, but I got that. That's up on my pictures on my Instagram. But yeah, just sticking to the meal plan and workouts, trimming down, and then I maybe having to make weight here soon.
And what? Oh, soon. Oh, wow. We're getting
Well, not
close.
soon, like, but
I
like
hope it's soon, man. I really
close
do.
enough.
I mean, Dana, dudes, Dana, did you see any of the post-fight press conference? Because obviously we're going to recap the fights, but did you see any of the post-fight?
No, you mean any of the guys talking
No, I just watched
after the
Dana.
fight, or after the whole fights?
Well, they took Miocic and Cormier away,
Mm.
so there was no post press conference for them. But Dana said two really interesting things. So before we even get to that, I might as well say,
Yeah, I stopped listening to that win back a long time ago.
see, I gotta listen, man. Dana, we'll get there in a second, but thegruelingtruth.com, that's where you get the audio version after. Guys, my GoFundMe is locked yet again, but we're going with it. Hopefully they're gonna unlock it. They said it was a processing error last time. It's very bizarre. I did get kicked off of Pinterest today, John.
Pinterest.
I didn't I don't post
How
on
did somebody get
Pinterest.
kicked off of Pinterest?
So check it out before we go any further into Dana White and the post press conference. Basically, Pinterest, you can do video links, right? So if somebody does an image
Mm.
search, so somebody had put up 596 of the best Jason Burmis real news videos because somebody had even more of them on there, right? So if I went to images, you can see a bunch of them right here. You know, like there's the Militich and Trump and all that other stuff that got posted, the Ellen video I did, etc.
Mhm.
But if you click on them now and you try to go there, it doesn't exist anymore. They're all gone. We couldn't find that page. So basically, they told the person who
Can't
put
say
that.
bad stuff about Ellen.
I guess not.
Way too
I
powerful.
guess not. I just don't get it, man. How much censorship is enough? But in that, Dana basically said two really important things. So he basically said, number one, they're not doing fans anytime soon. Now, even though we've seen fans at other things and smaller events, and I was watching some other local fights over the weekend that are now on Fight Pass, and they had a limited crowd for sure, right? In like probably a open, broader stadium that could have done 1,500, 2,000 people. Maybe there was like a couple hundred there, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
that you're starting to see that with the local shows more and more. Dana said that wouldn't be the plan, and then when he was asked about this being the toughest challenge, he said, "Oh, by far." And he's like, but I've actually really loved this time. And he goes, "I know how twisted and demented that sounds," but he goes, he's like, but at the same time, he's like, it's not gonna get any better anytime soon. So you just got to roll with it. And he's just like, we got things planned and going up, and I'm coming at the challenge. So
Mhm.
it's just one of those things where people think this is all over soon, and it's not at all.
No, not even close. Or I mean, I don't know if it was real news, but I saw videos and photos of people in a water park in Wuhan, China.
Brother, let me tell you something.
Is that a real thing?
I didn't see that video, but let me tell you this. When I was in Missouri, I literally drove by a place. I must have been in Chesterfield because that's where I was staying, right? Maybe I was 2 miles away from my hotel. Easily 200 people. Easily 200 people in just a small pool area park with a slide. Listen, we're LARPing, John. We're in LARPville. Look at the. Have you seen the parties yet? Let me explain it to you, man. This is gonna be the second lockdown, okay? And this is gonna be the reason, because they're gonna say outbreaks hit fraternities, sororities, and dorms as college parties resume, right? So
That's also the school scare. They want to scare people away from wanting to go to school.
So you listen, what you'll get is in the very beginning, and they're going to do selective enforcement, and they'll shut down businesses to instill fear, and then they'll hit the kids with the $1,000 fines and kick them out of school, but they still won't be able to control it. They'll say, it got too out of control in the first few weeks, and then you'll see the spikes right around mid-September, early October, right before the elections, and we'll see, you couldn't have the kids there, and meanwhile it'll be like one person that gets sick, and then they test 500 kids, and 50 of them test positive, and 48 of them are asymptomatic. We're totally fucked, man. This is it. Like again, CDC, rates increase in children. It's steadily increasing. They're getting you ready for it. They're hyping it up.
It's weird. It's wild, man. I was without the technical difficulties, I would have talked about this article from CNN that talked about how Black Lives Matter hasn't increased, the protests haven't increased any of the coronavirus whatever numbers, but then in small print they say part of the reason is because people are scared and most people are staying home.
Listen, man, I just watched the whole thing with Cuomo, and you know how much I love that man at this point. But I watched this whole thing with Cuomo, and he always gives you a few nuggets of truth in there, like basically letting you know everything's going to be locked down, but then he twists the truth right on its head. He's like, oh, the teachers and the parents are so worried about what's going to happen with the kids, and they're scared. No, they're scared that you're going to force quarantine kids that have diarrhea and that have, I'm not kidding, you should see the list goes on.
Runny noses.
Sore throat, cough. So right away they have to be taken to a room where they're waited and quarantined until you can come get them. Then they have to be tested. Then let's say one of them actually pops hot. Then they got to test everybody. It's going to be like traumatic experience after traumatic experience for these kids. And that's what they're scared of. They want the kids to go back, but they want it to go back to like a reasonable, if somebody gets sick, that doesn't mean they have COVID. Okay? And if somebody gets COVID...
Let's not treat them like a leper and everybody's going to you're spraying them down, putting them in a plastic bubble.
I mean...
Wheel them outside.
Brother, it's gotten way, way, way beyond that. And I don't even know how much Cuomo's asking for, but it's got to be hundreds of billions of dollars at this point to bail out. Meanwhile, John, right now the DNC is got their virtual convention starting, and I guess a lot of them for this virtual convention pre-tape their speeches for their Zoom meeting. What the fuck is going on, man? We're in fucking cartoon. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You're not even having a convention.
So these guys, they're not even, they're calling in their speeches for these conventions.
They're not even calling them in. They're calling it a pre-produced fucking taped piece of shit.
That's wild.
My God. And I'm the one that gets banned on Pinterest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm the guy. So UFC, what a fight! What a card! Really, it was a pretty exciting card. I don't know. You probably didn't catch the very first fight that got fight of the night, did you?
The very first fight in the early prelims?
Yeah.
No,
Oh
I did
man,
not.
it was brutal.
I think, yeah, because we were setting up. We did a stream for the fight, me and Tinkle,
Hmm.
and I think we started watching around Felice Herring.
Okay, okay, I got you. And
Yeah,
that and
Felice Herring, Jim Miller.
yep, right before Jim
Yeah.
Miller. I'd say okay. I mean, the early prelims, there's only two, but that first fight, those guys earned their $50,000. I got to tell you, if they didn't get it
Mm.
after watching that fight, it was a dog fight. I would assume if they had more like big finishes on the ESPN prelims, they would have probably tried to play that fight. But it was I think it went all 15, so it was also a long one. It wasn't like a flash.
Mm.
It was a grind. It was quite the fight. Just like the 5 rounder and Cormier getting poked in the eye. And I would say that this is the trilogy of eye pokes because the first fight, when Cormier knocks him out, he really got, he poked him in the eye shortly before that. I'd say less than 60 seconds before that big combo. In the second fight, there's a lot of, there's got to be at least 3 eye pokes back and forth. And in this one, before that last one, there had to be 2 or 3 back and forth. You know what I'm saying? They are really in there, but that's also, in my opinion,
There's a nut shot too, I think.
What's that?
Wasn't there a nut shot too?
Yeah, the nut shot though, I don't think that is as big as a theme in the trilogy. I think one of the reasons that you're seeing those eye pokes is number one, DC is in there boxing the guy basically, almost not kickboxing him, doing exactly what we said he shouldn't do. I mean, he only really tried to take him down a few times at best.
Well, the round that he won,
Yeah,
was the first round, which is the round he took him down easily. I mean, it's not hard to just do one of those every round. Just pick that knee, put him on his butt real quick, hit him a few times on his way up.
he got
Get him
stopped. Though. He
tired.
boxed him
I
again.
don't.
He boxed him again. And I think
And
that's why
it's
FBI
not that
pokes.
he's bad at the boxing. He's good at the boxing. I'm just saying mix it up. Like he could do everything he did and then get 1 or 2 of those per round of takedowns. And then,
Oh, I lost you. I lost you, John. I lost your audio. Oh, there you go. You're back. Try. Talk.
all right.
There you go.
Okay. Getting excited over here. I must hit something.
I'll say this. Again, he is good at the boxing, but like you said, I mean, first of all, that's why I think you have the eye pokes. He's in there, both of them, and they have their hands up like this, and somebody instinctively like that comes to punch you. You don't always curl your hand up as you're pushing away and trying to block off their eyesight. But with DC, after the third round, first of all, there was something going on with his eye before that big eye poke, the big one, that he was blinded for 2 rounds. But after he was blinded for 2 rounds, I think that makes everything that much more difficult. But he still should have gone to the wrestling, in my opinion. I don't know what you think. I mean, at least more of it.
Yeah, mix it up. Get him tired. I mean, DC is, man, I'd say arguably probably the best wrestler performance-wise in MMA history.
Mm-hmm.
It's bold, but I would say so. And he's probably one of the best coaches I've ever had. I think he's the best coach I've ever had. I've probably learned more from him in the time that I've had him as a wrestling coach, just about wrestling, than I did with all my other previous coaches. And they're all great coaches, no slack on them.
Uh-huh.
But like the guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to take 1 or 2 steps, get in on the hips, lift you up, and do something. Like it's it should be ingrained into the punching combinations. I don't know why he never spent more time with it, but I think he could have dominated a lot more easily throughout the weight class, light heavyweight even also, if he would have just used a little bit, 75-25 even, just split it, stand up to wrestling. And you don't even have to do a lot of control on the ground, just the level changes and taking the guy down. It wears him out. It makes him think about the wrestling. It messes up his rhythm for his striking. It's just it's a tool that's not getting used.
Do you think this is it for him? Do you think he's actually going to retire, or is he looking now at a decision where with the right fight, and since there isn't going to be crowds and maybe
If I were him, I'd be done.
What's that?
If I were him, I'd be done.
I'm with you, but even Dana doesn't seem
He's
to
done
think
it.
so.
I mean, he's done it all. Like, is the money really that great for the age? And I don't know, man. He could get in a movie, do something like that, TV show. I'd watch it.
I'd watch DC show. I mean,
Watch
but
DC
but
show.
again, I don't know, man. I just feel like, especially with
DC's house or something.
well, he should have his own YouTube channel, right? He should have his own like Tim Dillon-esque comedy sketch channel where just every once in a while he throws out some kind of ridiculous sketch comedy, not with the UFC, but I'm sure he signed away his licensing rights 100% to everything UFC at this point, and he knows it. And Dana loves him for it. I don't know. I think it's the competitor. I think you know what I could see. Maybe not now. Maybe it's over now. But just like you're seeing Tyson Roy Jones Jr. Maybe not that old, but he's what 42, I believe, right now. Right? He wanted to get out at 40. It's 42. Maybe at 45, 46, a Lesnar super fight on some kind of crazy card, right? And now they're holding it in the Sadayama Arena in Japan, and finally they've defeated COVID because Bill Gates has vaccinated everybody and killed 3/4 of the population. Oh, I'm kidding. Bill Gates is the greatest man alive. I don't know why I even say that, John. He's the best. I mean,
our savior.
He's the best. I'm gonna start walking around proselytizing for Bill Gates and how we should all have metal signs on
dressed up like a big syringe. I'm your friend. Dressed up like a big syringe with a free hug sign.
Yeah. It riding around in a beat up old ice cream truck, like still has the little carnival sound in it, and he's still got some ice cream in there, but there's some rust around the edges, and there's a rather odd smell coming from
odd
truck.
Smell.
Yeah, that's twisted. I know. It's just I don't know what to tell you guys. Every day is even more and more depressing. I'm sure I didn't show you my bar hopping this week. You ready? Okay. Let's see.
Should be action packed.
Oh, this is action packed. So this is
that's a sandwich. It's a sandwich at exclusive club.
So this has to sit in front of me no matter what. This is number one. Let me see if I get the actual.
You can't even eat it.
I don't want it, man. I went there to get a goddamn beer and meet my buddy. It's gonna get more depressing. Let me see if I can actually get to the tweets, because that tweet it sums up 2020, man. It really does. Here we go. Where it's got to be one under here. It is 2020 in a nutshell: a dry, unappealing hot dog on a bun that you didn't want and didn't order, but it has to be there anyway. COVID 1984. Now I go to the next.
They just use the same hot dog and bun, and they keep passing it to the next restaurant.
Oh man,
door.
they're throwing away an uber amount of these things. So then I go to the next bar.
Man.
Okay, that's what gets stuck in front of me. A corn dog now that I don't want.
Yummy.
Now, John, I'm sitting at the bar by myself. The chairs are socially distanced to 6 feet, right? I'm meeting up with my buddy, who we've already used the magic box to text one another. He's coming after work. It's a little after 11. He gets there. The seat to me is empty. Groups are sitting together. I go, hey, can he move the chair over next to me, and so we could sit together? And he goes, no, you guys didn't walk in together, so I can't let you do that. Instead, we had to get up, put our masks on, walk to a table, sit at the table next to each other, and then watch two girls walk in 2 minutes later, move the chairs together, and sit down where I was at the bar for 35 minutes beforehand. John, I'm not done. So then, this is my nightmare every fucking day, John.
Mad world. It's just everybody's pretending to like go along with. This is soft communism, isn't it?
It's
this
worse.
What's happening?
It's
a slow, soft roll into communism.
I mean, I don't know that it's soft. So then I walk into my buddy's bar. Okay, all these people. First of all, the first bar was the one I used to run. Okay, the second bar is a bar I've been going to since 1997 when I was a freshman in college, and I've known the new owner since he opened it. Okay, this one is owned and run by, I don't want to give too much of it away because God forbid Cuomo goons watch this or something. Oh, they're done. But anyway, a guy I've known for well over a decade actually saved one of our loose change hard drives back in the day. And I've got a thimble of fucking soup in front of me with the beer I'm ordering.
Interesting times.
Did you ever think dystopia would look like this? Like,
yeah, it's weird, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Meanwhile, John, New York City, you ready? Are you ready? And Cuomo was talking about this, and he's trying to blame Trump for this too. 49 people shot in 72
people
hours.
Are getting beat up and shot everywhere. I watched some guy, he got his car wrecked and then punted in the face, and they robbed his truck while he's unconscious on the ground. What is going on? How is this happening? How is nobody doing anything? How are these how are the police not doing it? I mean, because it's like a parent dealing with a child who's overreacting or having a tantrum. And every once in a while, the child's got a sharp stick, though. And every once in a while, he actually stabs the parent. And the parent keeps just like taking the stick away, and the kid grabs another stick, but never really punishing. Like they're using the paintball with the paper. It's just like paintball, right? Those pepper balls. So they're out there like, oh, they think they're in Vietnam, and it's just paintballs. It's like you're having a paintball weekend. Like, oh, look at all the bruises. Look what they did to me. Like, it's like mild tear gas. It's probably not the same tear gas they're using in the Middle East. It's not going to melt your face.
Well, you watched the video or the series of videos I sent you over in that from the News to Share from Fort Fisher, didn't you?
No, I didn't see them.
The ones with BLM and I think it was Saturday I sent them to you. It was BLM.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they beat up a woman in there, an old lady.
Listen,
I don't want to play him on here because Ford, he likes to get paid for his stuff. But I would recommend people go follow him and go watch these videos because they were some of the nuttier. Like I saw people get knocked out on the curb. I saw one guy pull another automatic weapon deal. Times are crazy in this country, dude. And Louis Gohmert, I believe he's a congressman, right? The guy you're seeing right there in the thumbnail. Now, he's the one that named Erica Caramello Barr on the House floor during the pre-impeachment hearings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one video I got kicked off. So he tests positive for COVID, right? So he becomes symptomatic. So guess what he gets treated with? Are you ready?
Hydroxychloroquine.
That's one. But hold on, let's go.
One?
Let's go.
Also the zinc.
Keep going.
And I can't remember what that one was. Oh, the steroid stuff.
He did the inhaled steroids, correct?
Yeah, the steroids. All the questionable things. Everybody said we're crazy for thinking, oh, maybe we should look at this.
All right, so let's add the other ones that are in there. You've already said the zinc, the hydroxychloroquine, and the inhaled steroids. Okay, what are the other ones that he was taking? Vitamin D3 and
D3.
vitamin C and Zithromax.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was taking again.
Oh, the last one. That was the one I forgot.
Yes.
What is it?
Zithromax. So it was
Zithromax.
Yes, zinc, Zithromax, hydroxychloroquine, vitamin C, vitamin D3, and inhaled steroids. So all I'm saying, guys, is we were talking about those in March and April, okay? This guy's in Congress. He's 62. Do you think he was taking the stuff that was going to kill him? Do you think that I had a crystal ball that was like, oh boy, I think these magic herbs will work? No, I was reading every fucking study I could find on the internet and the peer-reviewed ones that were pushing this stuff that yet were at authoritative sources, John. But it's some kind of voodoo magic, and the only way we're going to get saved again is if we bow down to our good friend Bill Gates, who's the best guy ever, by the way, John.
And we got to do the. So what did Trump just do to lower the prices of prescriptions? Didn't he just do something?
See, this is the most frustrating thing ever. It's like he actually does something these guys are bitching about and begging for years. And he's right.
And they won't say nothing about it.
Well, it's the best thing ever. Like, it's literally would cut someone's EpiPen from, like, you know, several $100s to, like, $30. Like, we're talking about big changes. Yeah. It's actually for the people. It's what Bernie Sanders has proposed now for over a decade. For over a decade. It's his wet dream. These guys could never get it done, and Trump does it, and it's fucking crickets. Grassley's the only Democrat I know of, out of Iowa, actually, that commended him on it and said, great job. Otherwise, I haven't seen it. They just act like it doesn't exist, John. They act like it doesn't exist. They're going to let Joe Biden do a Zoom address that's probably recorded and produced for the DNC. Like, what happened?
He had a damn script for his meeting with Kamala.
Yeah, he had a script that was barely there. It's over. We're so over, bro. Like, I don't even know what to say. I want to cry every day. I wake up angry, John. And you know what happens? I go to bed fucking angry.
I just know that everything is uncontrollable. It's all just chaos. We're fooling ourselves to think that anything's orderly or makes sense. We don't know what's going on. Just have fun. John, take care of your loved ones. Have some fun.
I wish I had a surfboard mentality like John Fisher. It's like, you know what?
No, it's just when life has burned you to the ashes and you've built yourself back up again, like, so what next? Okay, it's just you start to realize how absurd life is. It's not going to get any less absurd.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I every day with the mask thing, and like I said, that hot dog. How do you think I felt about the rest of my night? Like, even when the little soup is there, I couldn't sit next to my friends.
It's gotta laugh. It's gotta laugh.
I can't laugh. Dude. No, this is the thing. No matter what, I can't get away from, especially right now, because they got these kids signing pledges for masks on the street. Like 18 to 24-year-olds walking down 4 to 10 at a time in masks in 90-degree weather in my small little town. I can't escape it. I'm visually seeing it and living it every day. I need to get out of here. I don't know. I've been talking to my sister, dude. If she doesn't make the decision by midweek, I think I'm just jumping in the car on fucking Friday again, and I'm renting a house no matter what. I'm just doing it, and then I'm moving by October.
You gotta go, man.
Bro, there's no way I can stay here. Look, let's start talking election. Okay, let's start talking about defunding. That's the new thing they're talking about. He's going to defund the post office. First of all, he put a postmaster general in there that'll probably do anything he wants. He did. Let's be honest. That guy's going to do whatever he wants. 2, if they allow the election, Democratic governors will pass executive orders to have mail-in votes that will be a complete fraud. We all agree on that, right? Like, if there's mail-in voting, it will be complete fraud.
It's a complete fraud. They're just going to have a bunch of fakes they send in. Either side could do that. How do you, there's no way to guarantee.
And you would have, and even Cuomo talked about it today. All right, so this is another thing Cuomo talked about. He didn't talk about this at the press conference, but Cuomo's doing radio. He's fucking Uncle Meatball. He's fucking doing it all.
Uncle Meatball.
Uncle fucking Meatball's here to tell you. He goes, and what's going to happen is Trump's going to lose the election. He's going to claim voter fraud and mail fraud, and they're going to go to court, and then they're going to go to Supreme Court, and he's going to lose. So he's like, and after he loses the election, basically he's going to say there was voter fraud, and sue. I mean, they're already setting up the narrative, dude. So
Yeah, because I know that's what they're gonna do.
I know because they're going to rig the fucking
Because we're
election.
totally gonna rig the election. He's totally gonna be right, but we're
What?
getting ahead of it.
But if Trump wins, do you think that they cry and say he rigged the election?
They have been crying for 4 years or 3 years. They've been crying since the last time. They haven't
Oh.
shut up about it. They haven't accepted that he's the president. If they would just shut up and like actually deal with some of the issues instead of having a tantrum, they've had a tantrum for 4 years. They've been holding their breath the whole time, and nobody's listening. We're like the parent. Everybody's the parent that's not listening, so they're escalating it. So like now there's violence and they're breaking shit. It's time to get the belt, guys. It's time to get the belt.
I mean, I just don't get it, dude. You got people being arrested for not wearing masks in your state. Like, straight up arrested. We're here. And the same thing in my state. It's like, wow, they're going to threaten you with $1,000 fine and maybe taking you in. Meanwhile, they are catch and release, and people are getting beat in the streets. Like, literally beat in the streets.
Hunted in the face.
And while that's going on, again, so what's your view? Do you think Trump should just again defund the post office all the way right up until November 3rd? So there's no way they can mail in the votes. Like he just starts literally doing what they're showing and just take every single fucking mailbox
It's already
off every
backed
corner.
up enough as it is. I wouldn't trust them to get it done. Like, if all the votes and envelopes were legitimate and mailed at the right time, I wouldn't trust the post office to get it done accurately anyways.
Listen, I think it's absurd any way you look at it, but and the thing is that it is kind of dictatorial for him to do this. But what the fuck is he supposed to do when you got a bunch of governors that are just acting like dictators at this point, shutting down society, and then and I mean, how do you fight that any other way? I think it's kind of clever. It's like, oh, you want mail-in voting fraud? We'll just fucking take every single box away.
Yep, let's defund this bitch.
Oh man, what do we got? Do we have fights coming up? What'd you think of the rest of the card, by the way?
I enjoyed some of the fights.
Hype train around O'Malley, huh? It's done. Or
The Verna Jandaroba fought her Felice. She just mowed through her in the prelims.
oh yes. Yeah, she did look good. You're right. Let's see.
And then Jim Miller looked pretty good. Just won the first round, but then he kind of looked like he just got overwhelmed or gassed or something.
And then what do we got? So we got Edgar Munoz next week and Oven St. Preux. I don't even know who Alonzo Minefield is. Sato Rodriguez. See, other than the top two, and I don't even know. I've seen Alonzo Menafield fight. Let's see what he can do with somebody after like 2 or 3 rounds. And it looks like a bunch of people. I have no idea. They are really just taken from that Contender Series. Oh, man. Not only the Contender Series, it looks like they're just straight up taken from LFA and other organizations.
Whoever they can get, because they probably got to get people who are in the U.S. also.
Yeah, absolutely. He said all the international fights have to be done at Abu Dhabi. He also said, Dana said, that basically they were at the point where they were actually going to build a lab. Are you ready? Build a lab so they could do their own coronavirus testing. Like develop a test if they couldn't
wink. Sure, that's all they're going to be doing in that lab. wink.
Come on, tell us about your conspiracy theory about their coronavirus lab.
No,
They already have a sports institute. Come on, they have a performance institute.
Yeah, well, put those two together. They got a sports institute. Now they got a lab. Wink.
I mean, can you imagine if it was the UFC that came up with an actual vaccine that worked and also juiced the tits out of their fighters?
That's probably the answer. Just give him more steroids.
I'll tell you what, man. People are looking pretty jacked for older guys. I saw a couple guys like Dos Santos. I love Junior, but he looked like in the best shape of his life again. At the end of his 30s. You know what I'm saying?
He looked slimmed down too, though.
They put him in
But
there
yeah.
with a beast. Rosenstrike looked fucking diesel as
Looked
hell
good.
too. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just saying that.
Dude, just looks like he hits hard.
Dude looks like. I'm sure he looks like he kills people. I like Rosenstrike. He has a huge amount of kickboxing fights too. That's what they don't talk about, you know. Like a huge. I think he's got like 60 kickboxing fights or somewhere in that range. It's not like a small amount at all. And again, Ngannou can put anybody to sleep. The only guy that's really solved that puzzle is Stipe. Stipe Ngannou's next. Dana said it. What do you think? Is there anything else in the heavyweight division that's a...
Until Jones moves up, I don't think so. Let Verdum fight somebody top, in the top 5 or something again.
I agree. He looked awesome, right?
What's going on with that? See what's up with Verdum.
And Verdum looks like he could have a quick turnaround. It's not like he got hurt in that fight at all.
He definitely fight again soon.
You know what? That might be a great introduction fight to John Jones, but John Jones might lose that fight. Like, can you imagine that? And that would be a big fight. I'll tell you what. If the UFC is truly sick of John Jones speaking up about money, and John Jones is legit wants to go to heavyweight, he can't get a title shot right out of the gates. I think that Verdum is a legit heavyweight competitor. You know what I mean? If he's not top 5, he's top 10. You could argue that puts him in actual rankings. And honestly, that's a dangerous fight for John Jones. The only time that he almost went out was what? When Vitor Belfort went up in weight and almost ripped his arm off.
Yeah.
I like that fight.
So it'd be interesting, because Jones's length wouldn't affect Verdum much.
No.
He's a lot longer.
And I don't think he would be able to have his way with him with those front kicks. I think those legs actually are a big liability for Jones. As listen, Verdum's stand-up game's not great, but it's not bad. It's gotten better over the time, and there seems to be, especially in the later years, but really throughout his career, when Verdum is in shape like we saw him, no matter what his age is, he's a fucking world beater. He's a killer. He'll take you to the ground. He can even knock you out. When he comes in there sloppy, like we saw him with what's his name? He just lost to Derek Lewis. Man, the dude with the chokes, the crazy anaconda chokes.
Nogueira.
Not Nogueira. No. He just lost to the Black Beast last week. The Russian. He's got like 60 fights.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He lost to him right before this last fight, but he was in terrible shape. Actually, let's go to Verdum's record. We'll do it live. Thumbs the video up, by the way, everybody. While we're still here on YouTube, glorious YouTube. We'll be going to Rockfin and other platforms. You all right? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay, all right. Verdum, let's see.
Give it the thumbs up, I'm saying. Give it the thumbs up.
I agree. I'm all about the thumbs up. Oh, if Fauci was about the thumbs up, we'd know about it. So Olenik's the one that beat him, right? And he looked pretty sloppy against Volkov. He didn't look in shape for those. He beats Tybura and Harris. He lost to Overeem. I'm pretty sure it was a majority decision, but sloppy in that. He lost to Stipe. He looked good in that one, but he had his chin right out. Before that, he was on a tear. He beats Kane. He beats Hunt. He beats Brown. He beats Nogueira. Rusov. He beats Nelson. Never had Overeem's number. Is that all the way back in Strikeforce? I remember that one. I think he was in decent shape for that because it was Strikeforce, and I'm pretty sure everybody was juicing there. Strikeforce was pretty juicy at the time. But then, he was the first one to beat Emelianenko, other than Silva, right? Silva beat him, but he beat Silva. Kyle, he's always fought top-tier guys. Even when he lost to Dos Santos in 2008, I remember that fight. He looked like he was sloppy. So, you go through, dude, look at it. There's no one in here that's not a legit dude. There's no cans when it comes to him. Listen to this. After Dos Santos, we keep going back in time. Brendan Vera, he's the heavyweight champ in one right now. Gonzaga. Let's see. Arlovsky. Alexander Emelianenko. He beat Fedor's brother. Let's see. There's a loss to Nagara. Again, he did get one win over Overeem. Look at that in the very beginning. He fought
Way
Karatanov.
back. That
Jesus.
might have been before Overeem put the weight on.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. That's 2006. But you know what?
Yeah.
2006. That's a
12-5
Japan
on
run. That's in Pride. Total elimination, absolute. Man, that's a tough call. I bet you that's Midareem. Like that's
Midareem.
yeah, not like Ubereem.
Yeah.
I remember when Ubereem fought Duffy. Like that was the height of steroids for Overeem. He was fucking huge for that Duffy fight. Like he didn't look like a human goddamn being. Hold on.
Enormous.
Let's see. Overeem, Duffy.
Doing it live.
We're doing it live. Oh, there it is, Duffy. Like, I don't want to get a strike, but I do remember like it was a ridiculous size difference. Oh, come on.
They block you?
No, I what it would have been is a commercial, and I block their commercials because I have the ad blocker. I have like Fair Ad Block Plus, straight up in my Chrome. So now I got to sit here and there we. Yeah, the fight did not last long. Look at how fucking big and juicy he was.
Jesus.
Dude,
it's a lot of horse meat.
Where do you see how big he is compared to Duffy when they're side by side? It's ridiculous. And Duffy's not a small man.
Duffy's not a small guy. Oh, yeah.
He tried to do the takedown. I mean, Overeem was just huge. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's a big, juicy guy. Oh, man. So let's see what he looked like up against Verdum.
Chuck Liddell. What about when he fought Liddell?
Oh, that was great.
205. He was skinny, little skinny guy.
Let's see. Is it on here? It is. Pride FC. Yeah, see, this is in between. This is when he starts looking a little bit bigger than 205. But we'll find out in a second. Guys, thumbs it up. We're doing it here on Mixed Martial Mindset every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. John, what do you got coming up?
I will be in Indiana next week at Rhino's Gym. There'll be a couple seminars going on over there. I'll be in my friend Chris Papandra's gym too. I can't remember what his. I got to work out all the details on that. But if you're in the Indiana area, there will be some fights learning going on.
I mean, he's not as big, obviously, as we just saw him, but he's pretty big here. I can't believe.
Yeah.
Look at how young.
His traps aren't there. Yeah, Verdum hasn't filled out yet either, though.
No, I know that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Verdum hasn't filled out. He's only been doing it for what is this?
They both look kind of skinny.
Yeah, this has got again. What is this? 2008? No, it can't be. It's got to be 2006. I mean, you can start seeing his upper body's getting crazy, but his head is still small. I don't think the HGAs and TRT is like grown the noggin quite there because his arms are huge, but the rest of his body doesn't seem as developed. Man, what a fight! What days? Oh, the days of old, the greats. I don't know. You got anything else for this week, my friend? I'm about to do like an hour or two with the Union of the Unwanted. I know a bunch of people are going to be on there. I know Del Bigtree is going to be on there, guys. So make sure to check that out. He recently got kicked off of YouTube. We just keep pushing the buttons.
It's maddening. It's maddening. It's unless there is an outside source to compete that allows people to see things, but I don't know. It's going to be hard because there's a lot of people that won't miss the stuff on the edges, because they're kind of dead inside.
They're dead inside,
so
but John just
you got
like
dead
whatever.
inside, and they're just punching the program, and they're not going to see this stuff. They're going to see what they're spoon-fed, and they're going to be okay playing video games and watching porn, and a lot of things will get tightened up and people pushed out.
Bader Nemkov, what do you got? Does Nemkov come in and be the big dog, or does he lose?
I don't know if Nemkov he still might be a little green. No?
I'm with you.
Maybe.
I think Bader's expected to kill. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe this is the fight of his life. Maybe this
Yeah,
guy's
maybe
like,
this is where he steps into that role and makes a name for himself a little bit.
I mean, maybe this is his Gegard Mousasi moment where he solidifies himself as like that top tier guy. You know, obviously, if he gets the belt in Bellator, maybe wins a couple more, comes to the UFC, we'll see what happens. But I mean, right now, Michael Chandler has that chance. Dana White says he's looking forward to talking to him. So, you know, I'm sure they're going to give Chandler probably a top 10 guy, right? Got to be top 10 as soon as he gets in. Let's see what happens. And that's exciting to me. You know, Gaethje and Khabib is exciting to me happening. You know, that's a great fight. Let's go. I want to see Covington versus Woodley, because if Woodley can't put it together, it's probably time to retire or maybe take some time off or go to Bellator or do something else. You know, I really do feel like momentum's a big thing, John. And if you're not stringing any wins together, you know, like Weidman needed that win, just like we talked about last week. And especially,
yeah, he did.
Yeah, when you're in that like over 34, 35 in MMA, you got to have that. Or, I mean, it's rare just to watch like a Robbie Lawler come back. And even then, Robbie Lawler was young when he made that second run. You know what I'm saying? He had been in some wars and been knocked out, but I think the kid had been doing it since he was like 19, right? So,
yeah. He had like a little healthy break in between his early career and his late career.
Well, you know, he fought a lot of Strikeforce too, you know, and Strikeforce is really where you started to see him come back up, and then he just took over in the UFC again, and he's one of those rare athletes. JohnFitch.net is where you can find everything Fitch, the Weight Cut Bible, and so much more. Man, I can't wait till we can actually talk about this big fight coming up, John. I'm eager. I'm eager to talk fight game with you. I'm hoping we can see some Fitch smash. You can get the audio version of this over at thegruelingtruth.com. I'm still doing the GoFundMe for now. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Hopefully they unlock it. Yeah, guys. We'll see you next week. John, thank you.
All right, guys. Check you later.